Mini Tank Mayhem is basically a tower defense game mixed with card mechanics and roguelike stuff. Think of it like this: aliens are trying to invade, and you need to stop them by placing mini tanks on a battlefield. But instead of just clicking to build towers like in normal tower defense games, you play cards from your hand to deploy everything. Each card costs energy, and you have a limited amount per turn, so you need to think about what to play and when. Thank you kindly to Algorox Studios for sponsoring this video. So when you start a run, you pick a commander. Each commander has their own starting deck and abilities, which basically determines your playstyle. The game takes place on a map with different nodes. You can choose which path to take, and each node might be a battle, a shop, a random event, or something else. After each fight you get rewards like crystals, which is the game's currency, new cards to add to a deck, or these artifacts that give you permanent bonuses for that run. The actual battles have a grid-like battlefield with lanes where enemies come from. Some tiles on the grid have special buffs. If you place a tank on them, they get bonuses like extra range or faster attack speed. You play cards from your hand to deploy tanks, and there are three main types. The tank cards of course deploy tanks to do the fighting, module cards attach to tanks and upgrade them, and spell cards give you temporary boosts or special effects. Your tanks automatically shoot at enemies when they get in range, so you are just deciding where to place them and what upgrades to give them. Energy is super important because you need it to play cards. You start each wave with some energy, and different cards cost different amounts. There are different types of tanks too. The basic ones like the machine gun have faster fire rate but deal less damage. The attacker hits harder but shoots slower. Then there are utility tanks that don't even attack. They just sit there and buff your other tanks in an area. The enemies come in waves and you need to stop them from reaching your base. Elite battles have stronger enemies but give better rewards. There are also Horde Modes where enemies keep coming endlessly for a set time period. Between battles you make choices that affect your run. You can find a merchant who lets you buy cards or remove cards from a deck. The random events give you options like recovering health or transforming existing cards. You collect artifacts throughout the run. These are permanent power-ups that stay with you. The deck building part is where the strategy gets actually deep. You start with a basic deck but keep adding cards as you progress. The trick is not just adding powerful cards, but making sure your deck has synergy. The cards have different rarities and special properties. There are status effects like burn that damage enemies over time, and you can combine these effects. After your death you start a new run from scratch, but you're learning the game's systems and discovering new combos each time. So what actually makes this game interesting is how it combines all these different game types together. The game also has different difficulty levels called threat levels. The game seems designed for you to experiment with different builds and strategies across multiple runs, finding broken combinations that make you feel powerful before eventually pushing the difficulty and starting fresh with new ideas. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.